you can
Sir.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, nice to meet you online, and welcome to take the course, China's Foreign Relations. So till now we have 21 students here. Okay, so now most of you are staying at home in your country. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you turn on your camera? So for the first time, so we can see each other. Okay. Good. Okay. So this course is titled China's Foreign Relations. Um, I don't know whether you're freshman or you are the sophomore or senior student. But anyway, so we can spend this semester, and well, I hope that we can have a good time for this semester. Before we well deal with the class or the hello. Before we have some basic knowledge of the course, so I'd like to well to know each other. Okay, so firstly, I'm Zhang Xiaoming, as you have noticed on the syllabus or in the course introduction. So I'm from the School of International Relations and Diplomacy of Beijing Foreign Studies University. I've worked here for over 16 years. So I came to BY in 2005. So quite a long time. So my major is diplomacy or international relations. And I graduated from Peking University in 2005. So I worked as a teacher in BY and have quite a lot of students in the School of International Relations. And also I taught this course for the IBS for some years. So I know quite a lot of you foreign students. And well, we actually, we got acquainted with each other. And so I had, in the past years, contacts with some of you, and even we became very good friends. Okay, so why not we can introduce each other? Okay, so we started from the how about from the here on the screen. So we have how to pronounce your name? Wu Tay.
Yes, Professor.
Okay, just some basic introduction. Okay, so your country and
My name is Wotai and I'm from Cambodia.
okay. How to pronounce your name? Sorry.
Wotai. Wotai.
What time?
You can call me Tai.
Tai.
Tai. Or you can call me Leap.
Pardon me.
Leap.
Leap.
Leap like jump. Leap.
Okay. Okay. So you have a Chinese name?
Shao Yu.
Shao.
Yu.
Yun.
往字旁的鱼.
Shao Yu.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So you're freshman or?
I'm in my second year.
Okay, second year. All right.
and I take international economics and trade.
Oh, so that is your major?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And then we have the second one, Zheng Qinghai. So you have a Chinese Dixon.
Yes. Hello, my name is Dixon Donald Kwao. I'm from Indonesia.
Okay. Indonesia. Okay, biggest country in Southeast Asia, right? So you have the largest population in Southeast Asia. Okay, good. So what is your major?
I'm from IB, International Trading,
International
International Business.
International business. Okay. And then we have Nanguan Xu. Hello.
Hi. My name is my Korean name is Kwon Nam. I'm from South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the freshman here.
Okay. So you are still in your country or in Beijing?
I'm staying in my country.
Okay, because Korean students are allowed to travel to China.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, so on the campus we have quite a lot of Korean students.
Yeah, I wish I could get there.
Okay, okay. So we have Ying Teng. Hello.
Hi, my
Hello
name
there.
is Yan Teng, and my Chinese name is Zheng Yanting.
Okay.
I'm from Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. So
and I
you're
trade
the
in
monitor.
finance. Yes.
Yeah, you're the monitor. So thank you so much for arranging the groups, your work for contacting all the other students.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, so guys, so we have the monitor in 10, and she will be in charge of the taking attendance of the class and also collect your assignments or like to have the notice for you. Okay, and then we have Mali.
Hi, my name is Mariana, but my Chinese name is Mali, or you can call me Mars as you wish.
That
I'm
is
from
good name.
Mexico,
Okay, Mexico.
and I'm in my second semester, and my major is international trade and economics.
Okay, okay, good. So we have a next one. Your name?
Hi, hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm Sumin. This is my second year, second semester, and I'm in IBS.
Okay,
Nice to meet you.
good. So your name is
Sumin Park.
okay, Sung Min Park.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then we have Sabrina.
Oh, hi guys. My name is Sabrina. My Chinese name is Huang Zixuan.
Okay, so you have a very low voice. Can you raise your voice?
Sorry. Is it okay now?
Good.
Yeah, my name is Ng Zixuan. Huang Zixuan. Yeah, you can call me Sabrina. I'm from Malaysia.
Okay. So Malaysia. You and Yin Ten, both are from Malaysia. Okay. So next we have Kim Ji Yun.
Nice to meet you guys. My name is Kim Jae-hyun, and just call me Jay. And this is my second grade, second semester, and my major is IB. And I just returned to school for this semester.
Okay, so you are on campus?
No. I mean, like, I was suspend on school for army, so I
Okay.
come back to this semester.
Okay, got it.
Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, and then we have Narista. So how to
Yes,
pronounce that?
Professor. My
Okay,
name is
hello.
Nariste, and you can call me Nari or Kunan. I'm from Kyrgyzstan. It's Central Asian country, and my major is international trade and economics. It's my third year. Nice to attend this lesson. So thank you very much.
Okay, how about the situation in your country? Is it influenced by the war?
I can hear you.
Okay, I mean, how about the situation in your country now?
The situation with the COVID.
I mean, so you are from Central Asia, right?
Right.
So is your country influenced or impacted by the war?
Actually, yes, because the dollar is so expensive right now, and it's like similar to Russian ruble. So it is we like have a little bit influence.
Okay. And then we have LA Jepos. I'm sorry. So your number is 2021 2059 0020. You have a quite a long name. Yeah, it's your turn. Hello. Well.
Yeah. My name is Elizabeth Min. Yeah.
Elijah
My
Besmin.
name is Elizabeth Min, and I am South Korea now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my passport name. I lived in
Mhm.
the United States when I was young, so that's why my name. I
Okay.
don't quite like it, but
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you. Nice to
Okay,
meet
thank
you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So Li Cai Min. Hello. Okay. Okay, all right. And then we have Xiu Huan, right? Hello. I noticed your Chinese name. Xiu Huan.
My name is Lim Xiu Peng.
Li Lim Xiu Ping. Okay.
Yes. My Chinese name is Ling Shu Huang. My Khmer name is Lim Xiu Peng. I'm from Cambodia. Nice to meet you all. Yes.
Second year or freshman?
Oh, I'm actually second. No, is it like second year or not? I think let's just say I'm freshman for now. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not quite sure yet. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have let's see. Let's see.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
My name is Amelise.
Amelise. Okay. Okay,
And
sorry.
I'm from Zambia in Africa, but I'm in China right now.
Okay. So you're in Beijing.
Yes.
On the campus?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you live on the west campus or east campus?
East Campus.
Okay, so the building for international students.
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. So probably we can meet after class. So
Yes.
okay, so we have Rebecca. Hello. You mute your microphone.
Yes, right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and I'm from Myanmar.
Where are you from?
My Chinese name is Tu Jia Li. Myanmar.
Oh, Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Okay, Myanmar.
Myanmar. Yes.
Okay.
I'm a
So
freshman.
is the kind of situation stable in your country now?
No, no.
No.
I think it's no, because we're fighting in some places, but in Yangon it's stay okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we have Clarice. Hello.
Hi, Professor.
Hello.
My name is Clarice, and I am from Zambia.
Okay,
Amelie
Zambia.
is my twin
Annalise,
sister.
so you too. Are you staying on campus now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Amelis is my twin sister, and I'm
Oh,
doing international trade and economics. And
wow.
yeah,
That
nice
that
to
is
meet
great.
you all.
So
Yes.
yeah, good, good. Okay. So we have Kim Da-ie. Kim Da-ie.
Hello, Kim
Hello.
Daye.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, my name is Kim Daye and my Chinese name is Jin Yi and my major is international business. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay. So we also have the next one. Lee So Ha. Hello. Hello there. Hello, Lee. Mhm. Okay, so we move on. How to pronounce this one? He Jung Woo.
Hello, my name is Paul Jong-woo. I'm from South Korea, and my Chinese name is Shi Zhen-yo.
Ji Zhenyu,
I'm
right?
yes, yes. I'm
Okay.
the first year, second grade, second
Uh-huh.
semester.
Okay, first year.
Yes, second semester.
All right. So you are in your country?
Yeah, I'm in South Korea now.
Okay. Okay. So what's the next one? Do we have more? So everyone has introduced yourself. Okay, so till now we have 20 students, not 20 students. So totally we have 20 members in the meeting room. Okay, thank you so much. I now probably have noticed your the syllabus, right? I've attached in the BB. We see the Blackboard that's online, and on the in the syllabus, you can find that how we are going to conduct this course. So the course is titled China's foreign relations, history, issues, and the frontiers. I can share this. Okay. So I think you are quite familiar with China. Probably you have been to China and had some kind of impression on China. And some of you are staying in Beijing, right? But unfortunately, because of this COVID-19, the pandemic, so you are not allowed to travel widely or not allowed to travel to some places in China. But we do have quite a lot of beautiful sceneries, beautiful spots like Great Wall, like Tiananmen, Tiantan, and so on. So generally, because you choose the course, China's foreign relations. So first of all, how do you perceive China? Do you have some kind of impression before you came to China or before you come to China? Probably some of you are, freshmen. Probably you have never been to China before. I know some of you probably have been to China maybe for some times even. So what is the general perception or what is the general impression of China you have? So anyone can say something. How do
Many people.
Many people, yeah, large population. Okay. Any more? You think?
Chinese,
Super
and
big.
a lot of food.
Large.
Pardon me. Chinese. A
Super
lot.
big.
Okay. A lot.
Very big.
Very big. Okay. Yeah. Large territory. We know. It's a, the third largest country, right? So Russia is the biggest one. USA and China. So very big, very large, huge exporting country. Yeah, a lot of the products.
Different foods.
Different.
Different foods.
Okay, different foods. So large territory. Different flavors of the foods from north to the south. Very different. In the Winter Olympic Games, so the food was amazing, right? So a lot of athletes, they well praised the food a lot. Okay, so if you are in China, you can taste so different flavors. Okay, something more. Someone said that the lot export, right? Yes, we have like the foreign trade, and some of you major in international business, international trade, or international economy. So probably you know quite a lot. And also in our course, we will lecture something on Chinese economy or its economic development. And also we can compare China's economic development with like a USA and how China developed so fast in the past 30 years, ever since 1978. So we can say the economy is kind of a rocketing high, right? And something more you have? Hello, guys. You have something more? Many minority groups. Okay, so how many? How many minority?
Modernized country.
50. Okay, close. Oh yeah, you got it. 56. 56. So it's kind of located in different places all over China. Probably you can name some like the Tibet, right? Tibetans, Uyghur, Mongolia, right? And also some like a Russian ethnic group, and also in southern parts of China, quite a lot like a Miao ethnic group, Hujia, and so on, quite a lot. Okay, and also we have like the in northeastern part of China, we also have like a Korean ethnic group. Okay. Anything more? Okay. Anyway, so we can talk a lot about China's geography, population, economy, technology. You all know like Huawei, right? It's a very typical company of high tech. Probably some of you are using the cell phone produced by Huawei, right? Or the Huawei brand, right? And also some other products produced by Huawei. And besides that, I wonder if you know like the political system of China. Anyone knows like the political system? So how do you understand the political system? So we have different systems in different countries. Like in South Korea, you have like the system like the Western countries, and Myanmar for nowadays is kind of a military government, and in some other countries you have probably like an authoritarian system, right? And the Chinese political system we call what? So what is the kind of a political system? And yeah, government. Okay, good. The political system. So this is led by the Communist Party. Yeah, of course you're right. This is the we call the socialism, and like the Western countries, you have the capitalism. So we have one lecture to introduce like a Chinese political system. Now, how this political system, impacts the foreign policy, because different systems or different political systems have different functions or different impacts on the foreign policy, like in USA. So how the foreign policies are formulated, and how the policies are made by the related institutes or related leaders and so on. So that's quite different. Okay. And besides that, we also have like the military group or the military institutes, or the like in China we have the army, People's Liberation Army. So nowadays it can also exert influence on China's foreign relations. So quite a lot. Okay, so probably you watched the kind of games just happened in Beijing, the Olympic Games. So do we have some kind of foreign relations by the kind of games or the sports? So how this kind of sports influence a country? So we can say, this is a wonderful game just happened in Beijing. So a lot of athletes, they said a lot about the game, and they liked the like the sites, like the games, like the Beijing or something. So how does this kind of Olympic Games influence China? So what is the role? Is it useful, or is it kind of in a way can help China to shape its image? Speaking of the image, that's just what I asked you. How do you perceive China? So you said a lot, like the food, geography, population, economy, and so on. So that's right. So what is the kind of a general perception of China, or what kind of a China, what kind of image China has? So this is we can probably think of, or we can discuss in this semester. So we also have one lecture to discuss the China's international image. So like some some countries or some officials in some countries, they criticize China for a lot of reasons, a lot of issues, even like the pandemic, in 2020. So a lot of Western countries, they criticized China for like many factors, like they said that the kind of a pandemic happened in China. This kind of leak, the virus leaked from the lab or something, and they demonized, the kind of China. So especially like Donald Trump, right? He said that the China virus, even such kind of terms used by the leaders of some countries. Okay. So there's the kind of perception from different countries. I know if you noticed, or if you read the articles by some scholars, especially if you got the knowledge like the survey conducted by PU Center. This is a very famous survey or a very famous think tank, which is excellent in conducting surveys. So there had quite a lot of surveys of China by this institute, how the world perceive China in recent years. There are a lot of data and also a lot of statistics to show that how different countries perceive China. Like Pakistan, probably Pakistan is a very close friend of China and a very positive perception of China. While some other countries, like the Western countries, kind of negative. For example, like USA, Canada, UK, France, and so on. And also, I know that like Japan, like Korea, it's a very negative perception of China. So those are the kind of issues probably we can discuss. Okay, so so this is the kind of a general, the kind of a warming up before we move on. Okay. How do we conduct the class? I wonder if you read the syllabus. So the course will be conducted as a seminar. I like that we can do in that way. So it is not only me to lecture, all the things like I talk on the class, blah, 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 quite a lot. So I don't like that. So I like, you can show yourself on the class. But how? So you have assignments to do. So you have, at least 2 pieces of assignment to do, like the news report and the presentation. As to the news report, as you have been grouped or you have chosen your partner, and so you can do the news report as a group or as a team. The news report is just for 3 or 4 minutes, but not too long, because we don't have too much time on class. So 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes, and most 5 minutes, so not too long. And the news should be related to China, China's foreign relations. So it will be good, or it will be better if you have the news related to China's foreign relations. For example, we just take the Russia-Ukraine war, for example, how China expressed its stance towards the war, what China has done during this period of time. So, and also the China's attitudes, China's policies towards Russia and towards Ukraine, and how China behaved itself in the UN in terms of this issue. So those news is welcome. And also, of course, you can say something like the China and the US relationship, and also like, just at the moment, there's a group of the US or the delegation from US to Taiwan. So high rank officials, of course, not the officials, the current officials. They are, the officials in the former government or the former officials. So they visited Taiwan, and now they are in Taiwan talking about the security of Taiwan because of the kind of war between Russia and Ukraine. And so you can see, you can report the news like that. And probably have some other pieces of news like China and Japan, China and South Korea, and so on. So anyway, you have, so this is the first work we do on class. So each time before we move on with the presentation or the lecture, so firstly, we have the news report, 3 minutes around. Okay, so this is the news report. The news report accounts for 5% of your total score. So it is very important for you. So 5 points. So long as you have the news report, and then you can have that 5 points. And then the news is followed by the presentation. So you're grouped as teams, or we have different groups, and you can do the news, the presentation. So you will be assigned, or you have taken the topic you are interested in, like China's, history, in the foreign relations in ancient time or in modern time, or China's foreign relations after the new republic, and also some other issues, topics like the China threat issue, like the Thucydides trap issue, like one belt, one road, in China international image, and so on. So the presentation will be done by your group. So firstly, now we have 2 students in each group. According to the total number of our students, I think probably there will be students who till now do not have any topic, or probably we have students who will quit the class after this, the 2 weeks, because in the first 2 weeks you have chances, or you have, you can decide whether to take this course or not. So probably after 2 weeks, we don't have so many students, or maybe we have more students. I don't know. Okay, anyway, so at least in one group, we probably have 2 students so you can share the presentation. The presentation is around like 25 minutes. It's around 25 minutes. So if you prepared very well, or you want to see quite a lot in detail, probably have 30 minutes, but no more than 30 minutes. So at most 30 minutes. It's 20 to 25 minutes. It's okay. So if you have 2 in your group, and then you can share, each one probably can have 10 minutes. Okay, so the presentation will be followed by questions, like the Q&A. So that's why I'd like to conduct the class in a way of seminar. So the audience, they can raise the questions to the presenters. So if you have any kind of questions, you can raise to the presenters, and the presenters can answer the questions, or we can discuss together. So that probably will last 10 minutes, probably. And also if we, well, we are all very interested in the discussion, so we can maybe prolong the discussion in very details. And the presentation accounts for 20 points, if I remember correctly. 20 minutes or 15, so it's around 20 points. So it's a large share of the final score. So just prepare the presentation, and you have taken the topic, so you can start preparing the presentation by starting from today. Well, how about the kind of references? Probably you will be frustrated, or you feel confused because you cannot have access to like the references. So I can offer some materials or documents for you for each topic. And of course, I hope that you can do some research, and also you can collect some documents related to the topic. And well, you can also share the kind of references or the materials, documents with your classmates if you have. Well, the presentation or is well, can be conducted by PPT, or by showing your PPT. It will be better. So if you have the PPT, so you can forward your PPT to the WeChat group before we have the class. For example, next week, we will have the first lecture. So the first group, please forward your PPT to the WeChat group before Wednesday, or maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, so we can have your PPT in advance. Well, so this is the second assignment. And then for midterm, we don't have examination. We just have like the proposal. The proposal is just the kind of primary work of your final paper. I mean primary work. That means suppose you have your topic, like you are doing the topic, the China's international image. If you are very interested in this topic, and also you can write a paper in this field, or you write a paper related to China's international image. And the proposal is just the very fundamental work or the the primary work of your last paper, your final paper. So in the proposal, you have like the tentative title, you have like the background, why you take this as topic as your research, and what is your argument, and how do you frame your final paper? Do you have some kind of literature review like that? So I will forward you a kind of a example of the proposal for you. So just for your reference, and then you can do just like that. This is the proposal is just around probably 800 words English, 800 words, and the format also will be well listed for you in the sample. Okay, and then your final work is the paper. So we don't have examinations, just a paper. The paper is also decided based on your like the presentation or your midterm proposal. So for example, you can combine your presentation, like you have the presentation, China's modern foreign relations. So you can take this as your final paper, and you can also take that as your midterm work. So in this way, I think you can save some time for you, and it will be a little bit easier for you to accomplish your work. The final paper is around 2,500 words English, with the kind of format of a the published paper on journals. So, and also will be forwarded. The sample will be forwarded to you. So totally you have like a news report presentation, midterm, and the final paper, plus your attendance. So attendance accounts for 10%. So you can count attendance 10%, news 5, presentation 20, and midterm 15. So last your final paper, so it's around 50. Okay, so your final performance will be evaluated by the 5 different performances. Okay. So you are required not only by me, so you are required by the school professor or the dean of your school, and also the teacher in charge of your students has told me to take attendance of the class. So if you have any like urgent thing to deal with, just inform me, or just inform the monitor. So you can ask for leave. Okay. And your papers and your proposal should be based on your own work. You can refer to some documents, files, or the papers by the other scholars and so on, but do not copy or like plagiarism. So that is not allowed. If that happens, and then you have 0 in your final score. So just do remember. Okay. This is kind of the way how we conduct the class and do your work in this semester. So before we take a break. So you have any questions, or shall we take a break now? And then next class, next period, if we have any questions, you can ask or you can raise. All right. So we just take a few minutes break. Okay, so around 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. All right. So you can also turn on your microphone, so we can well have some kind of free speech. Okay, so any questions, any doubts concerning the assignments and also the way we conduct our class?
Professor,
Yes.
so in the file you sent us, there's 2 dates. So the first date is for the news report, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. That's
and
right.
each and like, so for the group, so like that day we only present 2 people for the news report.
Yeah. The news and the presentation are presented in different dates. So in the file, probably you have noticed that like maybe one group, you have the other one, and you as a group, and you have the news report, for example, next week, and then you have a different day for the presentation.
And we don't need any like PPT for the news report. We just like
No.
sort
That's
it
not
out.
necessary. Not necessary. So you can just like a kind of oral, like the kind of the host on the TV or something. So you just report the news. That's okay. No PPT.
So Professor, we have to do news report for 2 people, right? With
Yeah.
group.
Yeah, in a group.
And 3 minutes, right?
Pardon me?
Like news report should be 3 minutes, right?
I didn't get you.
Like, I mean, like, how many minutes we should do in?
I know. How many minutes? I said that probably each one 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so probably totally both of you. So 2 people, one group, just for 5 minutes, around 5 minutes. Okay.
Thanks.
Sure. Okay. Any other? Any questions concerning the proposal? The presentation?
So the news report is like we do it in group, not like individual.
You can do it one by one. So as a group, because for example, in your group you have 2, right? And you
Yes.
can do it one by one.
Yeah,
Individually. Okay. Any?
Professor,
Yes.
I'm confused about the dates. There's March 16 for like number 2, and like there's May 7th.
Okay. So what kind of
So
confused
the
you have?
first date, is it for like the submission, and then the second date is the presentation?
Yes. One date is for the news, and the other is for the presentation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Any other?
We
No?
need to present the news or like just pass up the documents, the news.
Your meaning is, what do you mean?
The news need to present on the class, or I just pass up the documents.
Oh, no. Well, of course, if you'd like to share the news, the documents of the news, you can put it in the WeChat group. But if you don't want to do that, that's also okay. So you just report to the class. But sometimes it would be better if you have some kind of a link of the news. So you can put it in the WeChat group, and then we can find the origins of the news. And also I will forward, or I will post something like probably useful, or some documents, materials, or the kind of articles to the WeChat group, so you can have some reference. Okay, so I just now heard someone else. So
And about the topic that you let us choose, is it about the midterm and the final paper, or is it a different topic?
it is up to you. For example, if you are interested in this topic and you do the presentation, and also you can write something on that topic, like you to take it as your final paper. So I mean, for example, you do the presentation. You have the topic of the China's international image, and that is your presentation. And also you can write the proposal. You can take it as your midterm work, and then your final paper. You can also work on the China's international image. But if you don't like the topic, or you have something more you are interested in, and then so you can do something maybe it's not related to your presentation. For example, you are very interested in the Sino Korean relationship or Sino Myanmar relationship, or even you like to write something China's technology or something. But technology should be related to like the foreign relations. So your final paper, your topic should be centered around the China's foreign policy or China's foreign relations. So it's not only like the economy. I know you're probably majoring in international business or international economy or something, but maybe it is not completely related to China's foreign policy or foreign relations. So basically, it should be centered around China's foreign relations or China's foreign economic relations. That's also okay. So you are like majoring in international business, international trade, or the kind of economy. So it is kind of workable for you. Okay, all right. Something more?
And does it mean that the midterm paper and the final paper is the same paper, but one is like
Yes.
the first draft, and then the final paper is the last draft that we give it to you?
Well, sort of. So I mean, like a proposal and the last paper is just one topic, but the proposal is just your primary work, or you can say just like you said, the draft of your final paper. So the more you write in the midterm, and then the easier for you to for the final work. Okay. So my purpose is that if you start from the midterm, and then you can save a lot of time, and also you will not be so anxious or anxiety, have so much anxiety for the final, work. So the deadline of the final paper is around July 10th. I think it is July 10th in the syllabus. So you just I just now have forwarded the syllabus to the WeChat group, so you can double check the deadline for the midterm and the final paper. Okay, something more? Okay, so I hope that on class, each and everyone can be very active to participate in the discussion, and you are very active to raise questions. The more questions you raise, I think the more interesting the class will be. in the probably we can get or we can benefit more from the class. So any questions? Any question is welcome on class, so we can discuss. So I don't think that there's something wrong or or like your arguments, so long as you can support your argument, your opinions. So you can argue on class, you can debate on class, you can discuss on class. So we can do everything on class. Okay. 2 more. All right. If you have no more questions, we can move on. So it's just continue to share the screen. So can you still see my PPT?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, I think, well, the class, although we are doing this online, but still it is your stage. So it's for you to have a show in this semester. Besides the kind of a news report and the presentation, so you can like discuss, you can well express your ideas, or if you have any questions, you can also raise your questions to the class, to me, and so on. Okay. Questions here? So we can just maybe probably we can have some discussion now. Like okay. So some basic knowledge of China. Just now you have got quite a lot of knowledge in many aspects concerning China. So there's kind of a great diversity of China. Well, as you have understood, like its economy, its people, its territory, its food, its economy, its culture, and so on. Probably you feel kind of a very amazing, like China's culture. So it is a very colorful, and it has a very long history. And also probably we share something in similarity with each other, like China and Korea, China and Vietnam, China and Myanmar, Cambodia, because we are neighbors, and also there were kind of a very close connections in history with each other, because China's culture influenced the surrounding countries a lot, and also there were the kind of interactions among the countries or states in history. So culture, well, we actually we shared a lot. Some scholars even say that, well, as to China is not a kind of just a state. China is a kind of a state under the cloak of civilization, or in the disguise of the civilization. So basically, we can say China is a kind of a civilization. It's not only a state. To some degree, I think it is reasonable, because China is one of the 4 civilizations in history. So like the ancient China, India, Egypt. So very famous ancient civilizations. And China is the only one that its civilization has extended till today, not like the other countries probably. So they had some kind of a their civilization even stopped or kind of broke in the history. Okay. And so this is the map. You said that China is very large. with a very large piece of land. So do you have the kind of a very detailed figure? How large is China in terms of its territory? Do you have the kind of a figure? Anyone knows? Like Russia, like US, like China, Canada, and so on. So
I heard it's the 4th biggest country in the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how
And
large?
How large? That's one I'm not sure, but I just know its number. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone knows? We know there are bigger countries, large countries, and also there are very, very small countries with just a very small population. Like days before there happened the eruption of the volcano in Tonga. So Tonga is a very small country, and it's a kind of country located in South Pacific. There are quite a lot of island countries with very small population. Like in some country, probably there are just 20,000 people. Cook Island. Anyone knows this one? A very small island country in South Pacific. It has only 20,000 people. 20,000. It's a very small population. And also, whenever there is the kind of storm or the kind of hurricane or something, there will be the loss of the lives. So that is a great loss to such kind of a small country. China has a large piece of land of 9.6 million square kilometers. So 9.6 million square kilometers. So what is the population? How many people? So what is the number? Anyone knows? Tell me.
1.4 billion.
Yeah, you are right. 1.4 billion. So how many people in the world today? How many people in the world?
7.9 billion.
7.9, 7.7. Okay.
6.5. Like, no.
What is 7.6?
6.5.
7.7 billion.
Okay. So we don't have the similar answer. It's just around 7 billion, a little bit more than 7 billion. So it's around 7.2 or I don't have the exact number, so we can check. But anyway, so China accounts for just 1/5 of the total population of the world. So not only the land, but also the kind of a population is very, very large. But if you see USA is very large. How many people in USA? How many people in USA?
400 million.
How many?
400 million, give or take.
400 million. It's not. It's close. It's close. Okay, it's kind of a more than 300 billion. A million. It's not billion. The 300. Yeah, more than 300 million people. And how about Japan? Japan, according to its territory, is small, right? It's an island country. How many people in Japan? Okay, good. You are very quick to answers. It's just around 100 million, more than 100 million people in Japan. but Japan is very small in terms of its territory. So it seems that it kind of crowded. And also like Singapore, very small country. It's a kind of, we can say it's kind of the city state because there's only the city, Singapore, and also it's a country. And like Russia, very large land, fewer people than China. So basically, we can say China has a large piece of land with a large number of people. So this is, we can say China is large. China is huge. So what does that mean for its foreign relations? So it can influence quite a lot because large number of people, large population, large land, and also this huge economy, or we can say the huge volume of its economy. So which cast very significant influence on the world. So it means that no other country should ignore China today. Okay, and then this is we have a lot of provinces, or we have the local governments quite a lot. We have 56. And this is the kind of a topography. So why I put it here, the topography? What's the meaning, and what's the influence of this kind of topography on China? But today, probably the influence is not so obvious, or does not have much influence on China's foreign relations. But in history, this kind of a topography really influenced China's foreign relations because it prohibited, China's foreign relations. Like in the western part of China, there were deserts, and in the east of China, there were large bulk of sea water. So in ancient China, so there was not much like a technology so advanced as today. So it's not convenient for the people to go far or to go to the other countries. But we did have some people traveling to some other places, the other countries. Like in Tang Dynasty, there were very frequent interactions with the other countries. Frequent communications with people from Korea. There were 3 kingdoms in Korea on the peninsula, and also frequent interactions with Japan, frequent communications with Arabian countries. And in Han Dynasty, there had the kind of Silk Road, as you know, in Han Dynasty. So there was an envoy from Han Dynasty to the countries bordering China in the western part. Even the envoy even visited, Europe. So, but basically speaking, this kind of a geography or this kind of a topography influenced China a lot in history. Okay, and then so the China's development is, or we can say was attributed to the rivers a lot. So that is, actually the starting point of the Chinese civilization. There's the great river called Huanghe, right? You all know that, Huanghe. And also another river is Changjiang, or you can say Yangtze River. And if you move southward, there is another river called Zhujiang. So the Chinese civilization or the culture, probably we can say, originated from those places. China was a country basically based on agriculture, or we can say agriculture country. So along the rivers, there was water, and so it can be there's the irrigation. So people can they can support themselves by growing crops and so on. But later, people emigrated or moved southward from Huanghe to Yangtze River. So firstly, it started from Huanghe. So it is also called the Mother River of China. So there is a very long history, which recorded the development of the Chinese civilization. There are, quite a lot of dynasties. We say as to the historical archives, like we have the first dynasty in China in the thousands of years ago. It was called the Xia dynasty, and then we have Shang and so on till the last dynasty, till Qing dynasty. So it lasted for quite a long time. So that's why we say China has thousands of years of history, even we say 5,000 years of history. Okay, so such a long history, we say enriched the culture of China. Okay. So according to some Western scholars, they'd like to divide China into two large zones. One is called the China proper, and the other is called the outer China. So what is the proper? What is the China proper? So China proper is the area changing constantly over time, but the basic part is, the Chinese culture dominated. Mainly, we can say the Han ethnic group or the Han nationality. So Chinese dynasties sometimes had control of significant regions populated primarily by other ethnic groups. Areas we can consider outer China. So probably like in the western part of China, for example, in Tibet, in Xinjiang area, in Mongolia, and in north eastern part of China. So there were minorities. They controlled or they dominated the area in history. Okay, so this is the so-called China proper. So so-called China proper, or we can say this is the kind of the very, very center of China, of ancient China. Probably like China is called 中国, right? Why we say 中国? There's a scholar called his name is John King Fairbank. Probably you know this guy. He was a sinologist. He studied China a lot, and also he composed a lot of articles and works to describe the history of China, especially in Qing Dynasty. He called China, he used the term the Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom. This is the very place of, the Middle Kingdom. So that's why we say 中原, Zhongguo. So China also was regarded as the center of the world in history. So that's we say the very important. This is probably the world view of the ancient Chinese, but we say this is the very important part of China or the Chinese culture, how it evolved, how it developed in history. And then, this is the very beginning of the China proper. And then it began to expand northward a little bit. And then, so you can find this circle and then here. But mostly, this proper moved southward because there were rivers like a Yangtze River, like the Zhujiang River. So it began to move southward, but not much northward, right? So this is called the China proper. Of course, we say this is called the China proper, and the other places can be termed as the outer China. Or we can use another word like a periphery. So this is the center. Okay. So this is the kind of influence of the geography or the topography or the kind of the rivers, the mountains. This kind of a topography, we can say, shaped the interaction between China proper and the outer China. Okay, so we can move on. Oh, you can find this. So we have two great rivers run through China, China proper. So one is in the north, just like a Yellow River, we call Huanghe, and the other is the Yangtze River, Changjiang, to the south. So most of the China proper belongs to the drainage basins of those two rivers. So there is irrigation, so people could grow crops. So both originated to the far west in the Tibetan plateau. I mean, the two rivers started from the Tibetan plateau. And a much smaller Xi River in the south cuts through southern China. Sometimes the Yellow River has emptied south of the Shandong Peninsula. There were also floods in history, sometimes emptied rather than north of it as it does today. So for long periods, the Huai River emptied into the sea. It flows into the sea. Huai River, so just between Yellow River and the Yangtze River, there is another very important river for in China. It is kind of runs through like Anhui province. Okay, so this is a Yellow River, and this is a Yangtze River, and this is a Huai River. Okay. And here, this is in Guangzhou, Xi River, and also there's Zhujiang in Guangzhou here. Okay, so the outer China is kind of like a wild. It's the huge area to the north and the west of China proper. So this kind of few people lived there. So it's kind of we say not like in the east and in the south later. So this of high density of people, but in the north part, in the western part of China, or we can say the outer China. So there were very few people, but the land is of a large piece of land. It ranges from 1,000 to 5,000 meters above sea level. So there were mountains plateaus, and so on. So this part includes northeast China, like Manchuria, this one in today, like in Heilongjiang and Xinjiang, Inner Mongolia, Yunnan, Guizhou Plateau, Yunnan, so kind of a very far side of the South China, in a stretch of the mountains. So this is the kind of a topography, and also the two zones of ancient China. Okay, so you can read the documents and the works by some scholars to describe the geography, like Chinese geography. We say this kind of geography influenced China's foreign relations. Okay, and this kind of a geography and also the kind of a location, the kind of a way of life shaped the attitudes and the kind of a world views of China, like geography, civilization. So basically speaking, the traditional viewpoints or the traditional world view of the Chinese people was very typical. So what kind of view did the Chinese people have? Basically, so China is the center of the world. The Chinese civilization is very prosperous, is very advanced, much more developed than the other parts. Like the proper, China proper is much more civilized than the outer China. Not to say, the other countries. So basically speaking, there's the kind of a very sharp difference between the Chinese and the other ethnic groups or the other minorities. So you can notice that here the word barbarians. So this is the very how to say that, a very important word which is used to show the difference between the Chinese and the other people, the people in other countries, or even the other minorities. So if you know Chinese a little bit, the Chinese characters, like Chinese, we can say Hua, Zhonghua, and barbarians. So there's a very specific term for this barbarian. In Chinese, we call Yi. So Hua and the Yi, so they are sharply different. The Chinese, were much more civilized, much more educated, well-educated than the barbarians. So barbarians, firstly, this term barbarian was firstly used to mean or to refer to the people living in the outer China, the minorities. So because there were quite a lot of minorities, and the Han people was the dominant group. So they are different. And the barbarians, probably uncivilized. So they don't have much, or they did not have much interaction. They did not have much, communication with each other. Later, this word barbarian was used to refer to the foreigners, like the people coming to China from the other countries, especially when it came to Qing dynasty. And this term is specially used to refer to the Westerners, like, in 1840, there happened to the war, the Opium War, and later some other wars, the Second Opium War, and also the war with Japan, the war with France and so on. Even in 1900, there happened the war, in China. We call, the 8 countries, the soldiers of 8 countries, they invaded Beijing. So the barbarians, referred to mostly the Western people coming to China. Okay. There were the kind of communications or the interactions with other civilizations like the European countries, but not very frequent communications or not very much close relationship with the other civilizations. So the Chinese people, they had the kind of emperor, the one who controlled the whole country. Even we can say the one who controlled the world even. So we call that term is used, in Chinese we call 天子. You use the English term emperor or 皇帝, but in Chinese there's the term 天子. What is the 天子? The son of the heaven. So he just governed the world on behalf of the heaven. So we call it, this is a 天子. So this is the traditional worldview of the Chinese. So China was located in the center of the world. The Chinese civilization is more developed, more prosperous than the other civilizations. So the foreigners, they were not treated equally. And later, when the Westerners came to China, there had a lot of confrontations, a lot of conflicts in terms, the kind of treatment, because they were treated as barbarians. So they could not receive like the equal treatment with like the Chinese themselves. Okay, so this is probably the circles can show the relationship with the other parts of the world. So this is in the very center. This is China. So China is in the center. And then here is the frontier. The frontier just refers to like, we say Tibet, Xinjiang, Mongolia, inner Mongolia, or the southern part of China. So this is called the free frontier. And then here, if you can read the Chinese, it is called Han Hua Qu. That means very much influenced by the Chinese culture. Han means Han nationality or the Chinese. Hua means influenced quite a lot. Okay. So like the we have the vassal states, in history, the vassal states like Vietnam. So, and then this is called the Neiya Qu. Well, like mostly the Asian countries, which were not so much influenced by China, but it had the kind of communications or interactions with China. They had the kind of a proper attitude or policy towards China, but not hostile to China. They could do business with China. And then lastly, the outer layer of the circles called Wai. That means out of Asia. Wai Ya Qu. All the other countries were termed as Wai Ya Qu, including the Western countries. So those countries, according to the Chinese, they had a very hostile attitudes towards China. So they were regarded as enemies. So when they came to China, they came for benefits. They came to China, by waging wars on China and so on. Okay, so this kind of the circles here can show the kind of a relationship of China with different parts of the world. Okay, so this is the kind of a distribution of population. Probably in the future courses lectures, we can have like the kind of information how this kind of a minority becomes or the minority issue becomes the kind of issue in China's foreign relations. For example, the Tibet, Xinjiang, even Inner Mongolia. Like some countries, they condemn China, blame China for like the human rights issue and so on. So those are, well, actually related to like the minority groups. Okay, minorities, we have 56. Totally, we have 56 nationalities. Their kind of location: Inner Mongolia, Tibet, Xinjiang, and so on. So mostly we can see like this. It's a Han nationality. Okay. Another issue is that China is a very large, large piece of land, and the only country in the world which has the most neighbors, or the large number of neighbors. So you can find that, well, surrounding China, there were quite a lot of countries. We have one just now from Central Asia here, you can say. This is about Russia. And we all know, today or in recent days, there is the war between Russia and the Ukraine. Ukraine is not the neighbor of China, but there are some Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan, and so on. And here we have Korea, North Korea, South Korea. It's on the sea, and Japan here on the sea. And here we have like Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, India, Pakistan. So on the land, there are totally 14 neighbors, and on the sea, there are 6. So China has 20 neighbors. Well, that posed a lot of issues and a lot of difficulties for China. Well, another factor is China's economy. As I have just mentioned, that China's economy is blooming, right? Although the 2 years pandemic influenced quite a lot, but its economy is still increasing. So it is only second to USA. But some estimated probably till like 2023 around, but it's not 2023. It's too close. Some said probably 2030s China can catch up with USA. Well, we have a lecture to talk or discuss China's economic development. Like this one, predicted by some scholar like this, the UK could be down to 10th place by 2050. And China, well, will be in the first place by 2050. Maybe not so long. So there's like a different sayings the kind of amazing China, glorious, prosperous, the China dream, and so on. Okay, culture. I said that culture because of the long history and the very rich culture. And some scholars they analyze China's foreign policies from the perspective of a culture, how the Chinese culture influenced the foreign policy making, like what we are calling for, like the community of a shared future, like the harmonious world. So such kind of things, like advocated by China. So the scholars try to trace those policies to the Chinese culture or even ancient Chinese culture. So in the following days or in the future lectures, we can discuss when it is related to China's foreign policies. But basically, we have two great scholars in history. One is Confucius, and the other is Mencius. So their philosophy actually influenced Chinese people a lot. So they even say this is the Chinese religion. The Confucianism is the kind of a Chinese religion because China does not have the kind of a religion of its own. So like this Confucianism, Mencius, and also even Daoism can be regarded as it's kind of like the religion, but it's not religion. It's kind of a philosophy. Okay, so time is up. We just stop here, guys. So this is actually the very brief introduction of China, but I cannot include all the points or all the factors to generalize the diversity of China. So in the future, we can touch upon more perspectives, more factors of China. Okay, so we just stop here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you.
Okay,
Bye.
see you.
Thank you,
See you next
Professor.
week.